Since the dawn of the internet age, keyboards have been used for many things. They've been used to make money. They've been used to drive innovation. They've been used to, honestly, cause destruction. But nowadays, keyboards are used for mainly one thing, and that's to make your desk look very pretty and sound really nice. So I decided, again, because I'm irresponsible with money, I decided to build a new keyboard. Kind of similar to my other keyboard. It is a QWERTY keys keyboard. And because of how much I liked building my QK75, I decided that whenever they put out the QK75 for sale, I was gonna get it. And so far, I've had a very, okay, maybe not long, but I've had a decent track record with how these perform and how they are. So if you remember with my QK75 or QK65, I decided to go with, you know, like a little classic look, like black gold with the beautiful, this one's completely different. The QK75, I went balls out. A little bit later, I'm going to show you like a little montage of the build, but I guess I kind of should, I'm going to go over like some of the things that I actually really enjoyed about this and everything like that. So if you don't know what a 75% keyboard is, a 75% keyboard is a smidgen bigger than 65. It's a numbers thing. If you know arithmetic, you know how to count that shit. But anyways, it's basically just no numpad, a couple of the like the delete, the page up, the page down buttons kind of stuff, but it has the F row, which this QK65 is known for not having the F row because you don't need it because it's a 65% keyboard. So with the QK75, you have the F row, you have the own little escape key up at the top, you get the little tilde and everything like that. There's a little bit more room between the main keys and something like the arrows and everything like that. One thing I really enjoyed about this is it came with a rotary encoder, and a rotary encoder has been fucking key for some of the shit that I've been doing, like editing, which I have something else coming in soon to do a little video on, which is probably going to be a game changer for my editing completely. Going through, picking out what I wanted to do, I didn't want to go with like the traditional, just like, I'm going to make like a cool keyboard, it's going to be muted colors, and I'm going to go with like a classic kind of keycap set and everything like that. I did that shit already with the QK65. So with the QK75, what I decided to do was make that shit pretty as fuck. And if you're wondering what I mean by making it pretty, I decided to go with lavender. Lavender is honestly such a beautiful pastel purple color, and I can't deny the fact that I really am enjoying how this thing looks. So I guess let's go down what I decided to use for this. This is a powder-coated, I think it's powder-coated, a powder-coated top and a powder-coated bottom with a mirror finished plate on the bottom that handsomely displays the word QWERTY keys. As compared to the other one, which was, it was a solid, like, sandblasted weight and everything like that. With this, it's meant to kind of be a mixture of wireless and wired. I decided to go with wired because I enjoy the wired a little bit more than the wireless. So at the bottom, you see there's like this little, whatever it is, it's like a little copper plate, but that's kind of the weight. Instead of the actual outside being the weight, it has a copper bottom that's supposed to actually house like the batteries. That's used as a weight, and it kind of has like a little thing inside of it to basically just fill up the gap in between that, so you're not getting any weird echoes from it. Like I said, I went with lavender. I went with the silver finish. Honestly, I don't regret the actual finish on this, except for the fact that it's a complete fingerprint magnet, and if I want to show it off, I need to make sure to wipe it down first, because my lord, it's a lot. Aside from that, I decided to go with the Hippotech keycaps from Kinetic Labs, because honestly, for one, Hippotech has been such an inspiration for content creation lately, because that man is hilarious and just honestly loves what he does. But another reason is because it has hippo butts. Hippo butts, hippo butts, hippo butts. And it was kind of color matching. So I guess that was another reason behind it. Wasn't a big reason, but mainly the hippo butts. So aside from the things that are kind of seen out here, so to continue with what else is going on inside of the keyboard, I decided to go with a palm plate. I have never used a palm plate. I've heard good things about the actual feel of the palm. My QK65 has an FRC. Is it FRC or is it FR4? It has essentially the same material the PCB is made out of as the plate, so it's really stiff. The flex that this keyboard has is tremendous, and I wasn't ready for it, but I'm also really happy that I went with it, because it's a different type feel. Like, you go through and you really can't tell until you're like pressing down on the keys. Like you're really pushing into them. You're pushing into the keyboard, and that's when you can feel the actual flex, like physically. But because you're typing on a flexible PCB and a flexible plate, you're kind of getting that bounce back, and it's kind of a nice feel to it. And speaking of nice feels, I decided to go with the Teskey Purple Pandas. I spent like 2 weeks looking up stuff, and thanks to Switch and Clack, I think it was Switch and Clack, but thanks to a YouTuber by the name of Switch and Clack, I was able to find the perfect tactile that I wanted, and that ended up being the Purple Panda. It has a 55 gram actuation and like a 67 gram bottom out, which is a lot. It's a heavy switch. But I decided to kind of lightly lube the, basically where the switch aligns with the housing. So it was a very, very light lube, and also I lubed the springs. And it honestly, it came out feeling really, really good. And because of that, I've really been enjoying typing on it the last couple of days that I've actually been using it. I've taken it to work. I've been using it as my daily driver for like editing and stuff like that. And again, rotary dial, mwah, chef's kiss. Going with stuff that's actually not in the build but comes included, you get a nice little coiled cable, just like you did with the QK65. With that cable, I understand what they were doing, kind of with a neutral color, but I wish they would kind of maybe have matched a little bit more, but I also realized that it's not really a bundle, because those probably haven't even shipped yet. I'm not even getting into that. It comes with like stuff like a switch puller and a keycap puller, which kind of combined. It's not the best, but it works. And then it comes with a bunch of like little knickknacks and everything like that, like the Band-Aid mod. I guess I can't remember what that material is, but they essentially include stuff for the owl stabs that they include with it, which I'm glad that they decided to include the owl stabs again, because they're honestly a really, really good stabilizer. And with that, I just went and kind of lubed. I lubed the stabs like you should lube a stab. Nice and messy. And surprisingly, I got them in, and they work. And there's no rattle, which is a good thing. So I mean, other than that, it comes with a bunch of odds and ends, and it comes with a little bit of extras on the stuff that you need, because you're going to need a little bit of the gaskets. The gaskets are weird. The gaskets are like a little like divot, I guess. But this is a plate-mounted keyboard. Technically, I think it is. So the way that it attaches to everything is kind of weird. But the fact that it has a daughter board instead of having the USB-C attached to the PCB is actually really nice, because one of the things that happens with keyboards is the USB breaks. I mean, not as often with the USB-C stuff, but the fact that you can buy these daughter boards for relatively cheap on the internet means that it's going to be a little bit better later on in the life of the keyboard, because you have a replaceable part that connects to everything. Yeah, but no, it's fun. I love building keyboards, and it's really, really fun. So I guess I'm going to show you a little bit of the building, and I'm going to kind of follow it up with like my final thoughts, and then a sound test. We're going to probably keep the sound test for last, because I want the view time. I want the view time. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah. happy to say that this is kind of lived up to like my expectations with the QWERTY keys. Not only is it like a really good, solid, like beginner enthusiast, I guess it's still a beginner enthusiast. This one was actually a lot easier to build than the QK65, which I was surprised about because that was really easy to build. And if you didn't know, it's actually like sitting right here next to everything. So that's why I'm pointing over there in case you didn't know and in case you were confused on like what the hell is he pointing at. But again, it's a really fun build, and because of, I guess, the parts that come, like the PCB is separated from the USB-C, and you kind of have to run a ribbon cable from the rotary encoder to the board. It wasn't as daunting as I thought it was going to be. It wasn't as difficult. I thought it was going to be harder, but this ended up being a way easier build than the QK65. And because of the ease of build, it's definitely a little bit better for stuff like beginners getting into the enthusiast kind of keyboard space. But actually, there's no buts. I enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun building this. There wasn't honestly a negative way to it, except for the fact that I messed up on one of the. I messed up on the enter button stab, and I had to take it out a little bit. But I didn't have to take out everything. I just kind of had to take it apart for like 10 minutes and then readjust it. It really didn't set me back that much, but other than that, like the build went good. The build went great. The switches went into the PCB fine, except for the ones that I decided I didn't need, and I decided to crush the connectors. But that's neither here nor there. So, anyways, I would definitely do. I'm definitely going to do another build from QK, basically because it's just been super solid. They have improved like the building experience. They've improved the quality, and what I've seen in the Discord, which you're not in the Discord, I'll put the Discord for the QK75 and the QK and QWERTY keys period in the link below. Because honestly, if you're into keyboards and you're still kind of new or you're still kind of hesitant about building it, these are what you should go with. I do know that they're coming out with something like the QK80, which I think is more of like a TKL, which I'm not going to get. I don't need it. But they do have designs for some that are coming out, like, I think it was like the QK Arisu? I probably completely butchered that, but they do have something else coming out, which I'm very interested in. So I'm definitely going to buy another keyboard from them, because this is the second one, and I'm not going to stop there. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the sound of it, and I hope you enjoyed just hearing my thoughts and opinion on this, because I really, really want to get more people into making keyboards, because it's another one of the hobbies that I have, and because of that, I like getting other people into it. But anyways, on that note, I appreciate you. I hold you near and dear to my heart, and I will see you guys in the next one. Adios, bye-bye. I love you, bye!